Well, we are following Mr. Deve Gowda, the former Prime Minister of India, who's a candidate from Hassan. Even as we follow him, his first stop is the Sri Lakshmi Narasimha Swami Temple. This is his first stop. Now he has arrived at the temple where he has performed a series of pujas. One, a Ganesha puja, next a Navagraha puja, next a Garbhagudi puja. Now, even as he is in the temple, this is the temple, is a historic monument. It's a protected ancient monument by the Archaeological Survey of India. And Mr. Gowda arrived in this vehicle. Now, this is a custom-made vehicle for campaign. This vehicle is very interesting because it combines several features. For one, it has a sunroof. You can see about this vehicle, it has a sunroof which allows Mr. Gowda to campaign. To campaign. So this is a sunroof. Also, this vehicle has a public address system, fog lights and other features. So this is a very interesting vehicle because Mr. Gowda will be using such a vehicle for the first time, a custom-made vehicle. Now this is the entourage. Now you can see, as we pan the cameras, we will show you the vehicles all around here. This is all mostly part of his entourage, official entourage as former Prime Minister, the official security, the vehicles of his supporters, and the other vehicles that are out here at Hola Narsipura, Kota, Narasimha Swami Temple. Now, this is Mr. Deve Gowda, even as he emerges out of the temple. This is Mr. Revanna, a former PWD minister. There is Mr. Deve Gowda, even as he emerges from the temple. These are the visuals of Mr. Deve Gowda. We will follow him from here. Even as he continues, we will follow him through the day. Next stop is possibly the Mavinkere temple.
The elections are just round the corner and JDS Supremo Deve Gowda is leaving no stone unturned to reach out to as many people as possible. News9 closely followed Deve Gowda as it was the same day he was filing his nomination papers. At 8:15 a.m. After performing several pujas for hours, the JDS Supremo came out of the temple and posed for the cameras with his fans and supporters. But this was just the beginning. Deve Gowda and his entourage then headed to another temple.
Well, from the Lakshmi Narasimha temple, even as he proceeds towards Mavinkere, he makes a brief stop at the Hanuman temple. This is en route. He stops here for a brief while, some say for about 5 minutes only. Now he will be offering prayers seeking divine intervention. This is the Hanuman temple en route. Now from here he heads towards Mavinkere temple. Now that temple is about a little over 10 kilometers away. Mr. Deve Gowda inside there is joined in by his son, Mr. Revanna, and other well-wishers. Very significant as he offers prayers at 3 different places.
After making a quick stop at Hanuman temple, Deve Gowda and his entourage drove to a Shiva temple in his hometown of Haddanahalli. This was the third temple that HD Deve Gowda visited before starting his campaigning for the day. The Shiva temple has a significant relevance as this has been funded by none other than JDS Supremo himself.
Now this is the Deveshwara temple. This is the third temple that he visits. Let's remember he visited the Lakshmi Narasimha temple, next the Hanuman temple, and this is the third temple. Here he is seen offering prayers at the Ganapati shrine, which is on the left side, and thereafter he goes circumambulating the temple. With him is Mrs. Chennamma Deve Gowda and also his older son, Mr. H.D. Revanna. Now this is the temple that he is circumambulating, and this is the third temple that he is visiting. Now after this temple he will be going towards the Mavinkere temple atop a hill. Now let's understand this is very significant because Mr. Deve Gowda is visiting this temple. This is his native village. Now he has helped set up, this is the Subramanya temple, and this is a temple that he helped set up. So it is very significant, even as Mr. Deve Gowda comes visiting to his own home village. This is in Hardanhalli. Let's remember that his name itself carries Hardanhalli, Deve Gowda, Deve Gowda. So this is the village, and which is where he's seen offering prayers. Very, very significant. Mr. Deve Gowda visiting his home village on this day. Well, we will continue tracking. This is the third temple he has stopped at, and thereafter he moves towards Mavinkere. We will continue tracking even as he proceeds.
Hardanahalli in Hassan is the very place where the former Prime Minister was born and grew up with political ambitions. Our crew decided to take a look at HD Deve Gowda's house and the school that he studied in as a child.
Well, this is Hardanhalli, Mr. H.D. Deve Gowda's native village. Now this is the school where he studied. This is the Hardanhalli Government Primary School. This is where he studied his early years. This is a tiny school under the Gram Panchayat of Hardanhalli. And let's look at the board. It says Hardanhalli Hale Kote. So this is the school that he studied in, and here it says Shri H.D. Deve Gowdaru Maji Pradhana Mantrigalu Munduvarike Sikshana Kendra. So this is still serving as an educational facility, as an educational institution. Now what is also significant is that vacant piece of land that you see between the two buildings. Now that is the place where Mr. H.D. Deve Gowda's ancestral house was. That of course has been demolished to make way for newer structures. So we can't really show you the old ancestral house, but let's show you a structure that has remained since the time of Mr. H.D. Deve Gowda. Now that is one structure which is really ancient, very evidently ancient. So that is almost in ruins. Now some of these old structures are continuing. This is presumably also an older structure. Some of the older structures here, because Mr. H.D. Deve Gowda, from the time he was there, the school has been there. So also this and some of these old buildings here, these tiled buildings, tiled roof buildings, some of these buildings have been as old as maybe 80 to 100 years old. Here there are some more of these very ancient dwelling units in Hardanhalli. Now this is very significant because this is the home village of Mr. H.D. Deve Gowda. This is where it all began. So very gratefully he visits the family shrines here in Hardanhalli. We will continue tracking him even as he proceeds from here towards Mavinkere.
Our crew